Alright, good morning everybody. So today we're going to be working on shoulders with working up towards Bird of Paradise pose. So because we're going to be binding, this will probably be a day of really having those listening skills turned on because a little complicated when you start to bind sometimes. So I'll try to make sure I go slowly, and hopefully you can see me well enough to see what my hands are doing and such. So once again, I'm just really happy that we're together. Even though we're not together physically, it still is very comforting to me to kind of feel all of you guys' presence with me. So I hope that's the same for you too. So find either a comfortable seated position or lay down on your back for your breath work. And then just gently float the eyes shut. So if you've chosen to be on your back, you can either bend the knees, push your feet flat on your mat to maybe give some relief to the low back, or if you're comfortable with the feet straight out on the mat, that's fine too. But as always, just take a few moments to bring your awareness into your body. And then take a moment to scan the body from the top of the head all the way down through the face, the neck, the shoulders and arms, down to the torso, to the pelvis, the legs, all the way down to the toes. Just allow any tension, stress, just try to allow some of that to release. Allow your breath to help soften the chatter and the noise in the mind. Just helping to turn that volume down. Once again, releasing the expectation that your mind is going to go completely quiet. Not to say that it cannot go quiet. Maybe it will, but know once again that mind's job is to think. So instead of striving for that complete silence, just maybe strive for just a little bit of softness, just a little less noise, a little bit more quiet. And then bring your hands to heart center. So take a moment to set a very simple intent for your practice today. So always just that simple intent, the fact that you're on your mat, you're moving with your breath, allowing yourself to have a sense of normal life, no matter whether you're on your mat at home or you would be on your mat in the studio. Still part of your routine, part of who you are. Just finding the simple joy in that and being grateful that you can still do this for yourself. Just take a moment to breathe that intent in. Let it drop down into the heart center and really let it settle there. And very slowly release the hands. Good. Go ahead and take a hold of your strap or your soft belt that you may have at home. And hold the belt wider than your shoulders to start. So once again, we want to kind of move into the shoulders gradually. So as you inhale, take the arms up and take them back behind you. And then take the arms back up overhead. Inhale, exhale, release them to the front. So notice once again, as we always talk about, make sure that you're not compensating to one side or the other. So as your arms come up and over, you're not bending one elbow. That you have nice straight arms on both sides. So if you need to widen out on your strap, widen out on that strap. But once you've done a few, if you feel like maybe you can shorten in on your strap, that's fine too. But don't do it by allowing yourself once again to compensate on one side of the shoulders or the other. Inhale, lift. And exhale back. Inhale, lift. And exhale forward one more time. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale. And inhale, lift. And exhale, lower the arms back down. Good. So coming into cow face arms and Gomukhasana. So take your strap in one hand, take it up overhead, bend the elbow, place that hand in between your shoulder blades. Take the other arm out. Turn the palm to face back, reach back behind you, grab a hold of your strap. If you are open enough to go ahead and grab a hold onto your fingers, you can do that. But no matter what you have a hold of, whatever that is, pull up with that right elbow or whatever elbow is up to the ceiling and pull down with the other arm. So you have a nice traction between both arms. As much as you can, try to draw that upper elbow in towards the side of your face. As you're in cow face arms, make sure that the chin isn't dropping forward, that your head is still over the spine. So if you're really pushing that head forward, maybe you're a little bit too deep and maybe spread your fingers away from one another. Just get that nice stretch through the tricep, a little bit of stretch through the delt of the arm that is lower. Nice, and then very slowly release that. Once again, release slow. It's a nice deep stretch through the upper arms. Switch your strap to the other hand. Take that other arm up. Place it in between the shoulder blades. Arm goes out to the side. Turn your palm back so you're internally rotating the arm that's out there. And then reach back, grab a hold of your strap or belt. Once again, if you can get a hold of the fingers and lock them, that's fine. Once again, pull up to the ceiling with the upper elbow, pull down with the arm that's lower. Check out your alignment, make sure you're not too popped out in those ribs, try to relax them down. Nice, easy breaths. Good, and then very slowly release your Gomukhasana arms. Go ahead and put your strap to the side. Go ahead, take your arms out to the sides, turn the palms up. Bring your right elbow on top of your left, coming out into Vipassana arms, into eagle arms. So pressing the fingertips against the palms. If this is not easily accessible, then you're going to bring the forearms and the palms together instead. Good. And just lift the elbows up just a little bit, getting a stretch through the upper back. Good. Take 2 more breaths here, inhaling and exhaling out. Deep breath in, exhaling out. On your next inhale, lift the arms and sternum up a little bit. And then exhale, pull the elbows in towards the navel, rounding through the back. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pull the elbows in and round in. And inhale. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, round. One more. Inhale, stretching up. And exhale, rounding in. Slowly come back up. Slowly release the arms. Good. Take the arms back out. Turn the palms up. Left arm on top of right. Turn the palms to face back to one another. Once again, just that reminder, if you need to do a different version, forearms, palms together instead. Just reach up through those fingertips. Breathe into the back of the shoulders. Pretty good chance you might feel a little bit more sensation of the left shoulder of the arm that's on top. Maybe lift those elbows up just a hair. Inhale, lift the arms up, lift the chest up. Exhale, round and pull those elbows into you. And inhale, stretching up. Exhale and round. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale and round. One more, inhale, lifting up. Exhale and round. Nice, slowly come back up. Very gently release those arms back down. Good. Just take a few shoulder rolls up and back. It's nice and easy. Just get everything really loosened up within those shoulder joints. Good. One more. Okay. And then just gently drop the head down to the chest. And take your head over to the right, just a little half rolls, and then take the head back down. Take the ear over to the left shoulder now. Drop it back down. Shoulders over the hips right now, just nice and easy. Roll the head to the left. And take it back down. And to the right. And down, one more, and to the left, and down. Nice, guys. Go ahead, make your way into downward facing dog. Cameraman, can you tilt my map up a little bit? Good. And lift your hips up and back. Oh. Good. Take a moment. Walk your dog out. It's nice and slow. Good. Maybe sway those hips side to side. Maybe take a little bit of a twist. Tilt it up. And then slowly begin to slow that movement down. Start to find a little bit of stillness in your down dog. I want to keep emphasizing that we've been talking about these past couple of weeks about feeling those forearms pressing forward a little bit to see if you can get a little bit more weight and sensation into the upper palm of the hand instead of just at the base of the palm at the thumb. So just think about gently pressing those forearms forward a little bit. As you're pressing the forearms forward, think about hugging the upper arms in towards one another. Feel the strength of the arms pressing those hips up and back. Getting a lot of nice length in the spine. Once again, soft knees in your down dog, so your spine is long and not rounded forward. Maybe a little bend in those knees, help you really lengthen everything out. But even with the knees bent, still feel your inner thighs rolling in towards one another. Feel the outer thighs pressing out towards the sides of the room. And take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling. Exhale out. And one more deep breath in. And exhaling out. And then go ahead, slowly make your way into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Just walk your feet forward, or if you have a jumping practice to get in between your feet, feel free to jump forward. And just allow yourself to dangle. Once again, hamstrings are not very warm yet, so softer knees, hands onto a block or books underneath you if you would like. If you want to sway side to side, sway side to side. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing, reach your arms up overhead. Stretch out through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. And just take a moment, feel the strength of your body standing in Tadasana, pressing down through the feet, hugging the shins in towards one another. Inner thighs are still rotating in towards one another. Outer thighs are pressing out. Engagement in the core muscles. Ribs are relaxed into the body. Shoulders are just releasing down the back without a lot of effort. The head is floating right on top of the spine, crown of the head lifting up towards the sky. And just feel that nice length through the body right now. Feeling the spine lifting up. Feeling legs pressing down into the floor. Good. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Reach, stretch back up tall in Urdhva. Exhale, fold back over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Press the hands against your shins or your thighs. Try not to press against your knees. Pull those shoulders into the spine so the collarbones are open. The sternum is lifted. And exhale, fold back over the legs. On your next exhale, lift up and back into downward facing dog. If you need to take a moment, we're going to put our knees down here in a moment, so if you need to put a blanket or a pad underneath you, take a moment and put something underneath your knees if you're on a hard surface. Good. On your next inhale, lift your right leg up behind you, put a little more weight into your right hand to help give you some stability there. Place your foot in between your hands. Or you can bring your knees down to your mat and then step the right foot forward. Left knee is going to come down. Inhale, take the arms up overhead by the ears. Once again, if you need to take an arm variation, come into cactus arms or out into a nice wide V. Take another deep breath here. You're going to rotate to your right. Take the left arm forward. Right arm comes behind you, and then if you'd like, take the right arm back behind the waist. Let's give a little bit more opening in the right shoulder. So if you're taking the waist variation, reach your fingertips towards your left hip. Or you can stay with both arms reaching forward and back. Make sure your chin is level with the earth, that you're not dropping the head down. Keep spreading those collarbones wide and apart from one another. So imagine somebody gently has their hand on your right shoulder in front and just gently pulling it open. So if you can just give yourself that own adjustment in the mind. Good, take one more breath here. If you have the hand wrapped, take the right arm back out. Gently come back to center, reaching the arms up. Place your hands on either side of your foot, tuck your back toes, lift up and back into downward facing dog. Good, inhale, lengthen forward into plank pose. Exhale, lower down through your chaturanga. You can bring your knees down to the floor. Inhale, come into up dog or low cobra with your hips on the floor. And exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. Take a moment. Reconnect with the forearms pressing forward, tailbone lifting and stretching up and back. Sides of the body are nice and long. And then coming into the other side, lift the left leg up behind you. Once again, weight in that left hand to help stabilize you. Keep the hips square. Place the foot in between your hands. Bring the right knee down. Once again, if you need to use your hand to help step that foot forward, you can do that too. Arms up, or in whatever arm variation is working for you this morning. The back toes can either be tucked under or untucked like I have them. Sometimes tucked under toes gives you a little bit more sense of balance in your low lunge. And then going into the other side, rotate to your left, right arm comes forward, left arm comes back behind you. And then if you want, take the back arm, that left arm, take it behind the waist and reach for the right hip bone. Just giving a little bit of opening into the left shoulder. So if you're reaching the arm back behind you, just press the back of the hand a little bit into the back of the hips there. Okay, keep reaching forward with the arms. Okay, take 2 more breaths here. Okay, if you have wrap, extend the arm back behind you. Come back to center, reach both arms back up overhead. Place the hands down, tuck your back toes if they're not already tucked. Press into them to lift up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Coming into a flow, inhale, come into plank pose. You can always just hold plank 2 for strength. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come into up dog or low cobra. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. And if you want to skip the flows, that's perfectly fine. So you can always either hang in down dog or take a child's pose or drop onto your knees and take cat and cow instead. So once again, your body, your practice. Soften your knees a little bit more as you inhale, exhale, make your way into your forward fold, either walking, jumping, or stepping one foot and then the other. Good. On your next inhale, come all the way up. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Just take 3 breaths into Tadasana. Recenter if you need to. Inhaling and exhaling out. Deep breath in and exhaling out. And one more breath in and exhaling out. Good. Inhale, take your arms back up overhead. Reach, stretch up through the spine. Feel it nice and long. Exhale, swan dive over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over the legs. Step back into plank pose, or if you have a jumping practice into plank, you can jump back into plank. Lower down. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Coming into crescent lunge. Weight into the right hand, inhale to your right leg up behind you. Step it in between your hands. Keep the left heel lifted in the back. Inhale, come all the way up into crescent lunge. Good, strong back legs. Squeeze the front of the leg and the back of the leg into your thigh bone. Then take your arms out to the sides. Take them behind your back. Interlace the fingers, stretch the knuckles down. Try not to lock out in your elbows too much. A little bit of softness there if you can. And then once again, a nice stretch through the front of the shoulders and probably down the upper arms too. Good. Keep lifting tall. Keep pressing down into your feet. So So, I like the imagery of, imagine there's a $100 bill underneath your feet, press down to that so it will like conceal it from you. Good, and then gently release the fingers. Inhale, take your arms back up overhead. Good, place the hands down. Step back into dog pose. Same thing, if you would like to take a float in between sides, inhale, come into plank. Exhale, lower through chaturanga or all the way down to your mat. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths, inhaling, exhaling out. Deep breath in. Okay. Weight into your left hand as the left leg goes up as you inhale. Exhale, step in between the hands. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reaching those arms up, coming into crescent lunge on the other side. Once again, squeeze the back of the right leg and front of the right leg in towards your thigh bone. Nice and strong, so front and back of the leg, really working strongly here. Take the arms out to the sides, interlace the fingers back behind you, stretch the knuckles down. Once again, try not to lock out in your elbows. Feel the openness through the chest. One more breath here. Release the hands. Take the arms back up overhead. Reach up for just a moment in crescent lunge. Place the hands down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. Gently bring your knees down to your mat and sit back into child's pose. Let's take a moment. Let everything we've done up to this point, just let it go. Make sure you're hydrating, so grab a drink of water if you need it. And from here, slide yourself forward onto your stomach, coming into nice laying down position. Take your arms out to the sides. Good. We're going to roll onto our right hip. Once again, we've done this before. Knees can be bent. If you want to take the left leg up and behind you, if you want to get into a little bit of a deeper stretch in that right shoulder, you can. You can use the front hand, the left hand, even to maybe push yourself back a little bit. And then also play with the position of the right arm behind you. Maybe drawing it down a little bit lower towards your back, or maybe lifting it up a little bit higher towards the head. I would suggest keeping your arm straight. You can try with a bent elbow. It's really uncomfortable on my elbow to do it, but feel free to play with your own body. I know I've shared with you, this is kind of my new favorite shoulder stretch. It's winged arms in a yin practice, but it serves our purpose this morning. And we won't stay here for 3 minutes. And then slowly come back onto your stomach and go to the other side. So extend the left arm out, roll onto the left hip. Once again, knees can be bent underneath you. If you want to go a little bit deeper, take the right leg back behind your left leg. Maybe use your right fingertips to press into your mat to give you a little bit more rotation onto that back shoulder. And then slowly roll back onto your stomach. Good. Just take a couple of breaths here. Just let those shoulders relax for a moment. We'll get moving again. It's a pretty deep shoulder stretch. And then slowly make your way back into dog pose. So express yourself up and back, tap your toes, and lift those hips up and back once again. Dog pose isn't serving you. You can always bring your knees down to your mat. Just walk the hands forward, coming into puppy pose. Once again, I just remind you guys, in a home practice especially, this is such a great opportunity for you to really pay attention to your body and allow yourself to kind of mess with your body a little bit in your yoga poses to figure out what really serves you. Once again, we don't have crazy yoga guy that, I like to reference during practice, but most of us are not made that way. We're all made differently, so allow yourself to have this time to really explore your own body. And we're going to come into Warrior Two. So inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Step it in between your hands. Turn your left toes out so the left foot is perpendicular with the front leg. And come up into Warrior Two. Good. So kind of same variation that we did before. If you'd like, take the back arm, the left arm, pick it back around your waist, reach for the right hip bone in the front. Once again, if you're doing that variation, just press lightly against the low back. I'm just going to give you just a little bit of traction to maybe open the back left shoulder a little bit more. Or if you want, just keep the arms reaching forward and back. Once again, just have that image and that feeling of maybe just something gently having your hands in the front of both of your shoulders, and then just gently pulling those shoulders apart. I don't think we're going to see hands-on adjustments for quite a while in our lives now, so this will be a good time for you to explore and see if you can recreate those feelings with an imaginary adjustment with hands. Good. Come into reverse warrior. You can keep your arm where it's out on the left hand, turn the right palm up, take a side stretch over the back leg. So once again, it's a side bend, not a back bend. If it's too much having this arm here, just go ahead and let it slide down the back leg. Focus can be down at the foot or up at the hand. And slowly come all the way back up and come into side angle pose. So right forearm to the right thigh, reaching the left arm up overhead or bringing it down to the waist. And once again, side angle pose about the rotation in the rib cage. Not so much about the placement of the arm. Deep breath in, exhaling out. Just that reminder to not use your right thigh, your right arm as a kickstand. Make sure you have integrity, that you're pressing the right arm against the right thigh. So you're just not kind of hunched over. I know it's a little bit easier to do it that way. Good, keep reaching up. Come all the way back up into Warrior Two. Stretch the arms out, straighten the right leg, turn the right toes in, wide-legged forward fold. Take your arms back behind you like we did earlier. Press the knuckles down, lift the chest up, and then exhale, fold over the legs. Once again, just soft bend in your knees if you need it. If this is too much on the shoulders, obviously, please put your hands down to blocks or onto the floor. If you do have your arms up behind the back, same thing. Maybe you just imagine a gentle push on the hands towards the head. Once again, remember, gentle. Good. And then no matter where you have your arms, release them, relax the hands down towards the floor. Let the shoulders take a deep breath and relax. On your next inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, come into warrior two facing the back edge of your mat. So turn the left toes out, right toes are already going to be in the right position. Reach out through the left fingertips. Once again, maybe wrap the right arm back behind you, reaching for the front hip bone. Bring yourself back to that feeling. Just somebody just gently spreading the collarbones away from one another. Reaching out through the front fingertips. Turn your left palm up to come into reverse warrior. Take the side bend over the back leg. Once again, the right arm can stay where it's at, or if you want to release it down the back of the right leg, that's fine. Slowly come back up, release that back arm, and come into side angle pose, left forearm to the left thigh, right arm reaches overhead by the ear possibly, or once again, you bring it to the waist. Imagine your left rib cage is just trying to turn to look up towards the sky a little bit. Once again, we only have so much rotation in our spine. Eventually our vertebrae hit each other. So you can only go so far, so don't worry about where you're at. Think more maybe just about the sides of the body being nice and long. And then take one more deep breath in. Exhale, lift all the way back up into warrior two. Stretch out through the fingertips, straighten the left leg. Turn the right toes in, same thing. Bring the arms back behind you. Interlace the fingers, inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Coming into Padottanasana. Once again, if it's too much on the shoulders, release those arms down. And then regardless, go ahead, release your hands down to the earth. Give the shoulders a moment to release. And then on your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. You just bend those knees just a little bit, take a little pressure off the low back. Exhale, come back into warrior two. Right toes turn out. Inhale, cartwheel your hands down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. If you would like to take a flow here, inhale, come into plank. Once again, you don't have to. Exhale, lower down those legs nice and strong behind you. Lift it up into a cobra or up dog, and up and back into downward facing dog. Okay. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. 2 more breaths here, inhaling. And exhale. And 1 more deep breath in. Exhale, soften your knees. Make your way into your forward fold. Relax the head back down once you have looked at where you're going. On your next inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Good. So take a moment and make sure that your strap is to your left right now. So we'll come kind of through that same flow that we just did, and this time we're gonna bind side angle pose. So if your strap isn't close to you, take a moment and make sure it's close to your left foot right now. Okay, once you have that, come back into Tadasana. Good, sit nice and tall. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back, pull the shoulders into the spine. Exhale, fold back over. Inhale, reach your left leg back. Turn the left toes out at a 90-degree angle and come back into Warrior Two. Okay, just take a couple breaths in Warrior Two. Okay, so coming into bound side angle pose. So reach down, grab a hold of your strap. Hold the strap in your right hand. So this is going to be where our listening skills come into play today. So you're going to want to lean forward, stick your booty out to the back. Take your right arm underneath your right thigh. Left arm, same thing. Turn that left palm back, reach back behind your back. Either find your strap or your hand. So if you are pretty open in the shoulders, you may not need a strap. Once you have a hold of the strap or your hands though, now you need to lift your chest back up that long side of your mat. So the chest is not facing the floor. You need to lift that sternum up so you're really actually back into side angle pose. Make sure that your strap or hands are to the outside of your right buttock cheek. So you don't want to be in the middle of the groin. You want to be to the outside of it. That will come into play when we come into Bird of Paradise. Once again, if it's too much on the shoulders, spread your hands away from each other on your strap. Good, just take 2 more breaths here. Good, nice, guys. Slowly release your strap back down. Maybe just kind of put it there towards the center of your mat so we can get to the other side. Just take a moment, stretch out into side angle pose. Good, lift all the way back up. Turn your toes in. Exhale, just fold over the legs just for a couple of breaths. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. And deep breath in. Exhaling out. So take your strap, maybe move it now towards your left foot there to the side. Bend your knees softly. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up. Exhale. Warrior Two on the other side. Turn the left toes out. Right toes can stay where they're at. Okay? So once again, to come into bound side angle, reach down, grab a hold of the strap. Okay. Strap in the left hand. Stick your booty out. Reach underneath your right leg. Right arm goes up. Turn the palm to face behind you. Reach back behind. Grab a hold of your strap or interlock your fingers. Once again, once you have a hold of whatever you're going to be a hold of, lift your chest back up towards the long edge of your mat. So lift that sternum up to the side. So definitely in bound side angle, you're going to have more of a side flexion on your rib cage. If you can try to straighten it out a little bit, please do so. But unless once again you're a crazy yoga boy, you're probably going to have a little bit of side flexion here. Good. Take 1 more breath. Good. Slowly let go of whatever you're holding on to. Just come into side angle for a moment. Just kind of stretch that side back out. Come all the way back up into Warrior Two. Straighten the leg. Toes in. Fold over the legs. And just let everything release. And soften your knees. Come all the way back up to standing. Reach the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Bend your knees. Jump your feet together. Maybe say it's honor system. You guys are all at home. I can't see you. Not that you don't jump for me in class when you're up in front of you. All right, guys. Coming into Bird of Paradise. So take a moment if you want to find a wall or a chair or your couch, whatever maybe is around you. If you kind of want to maybe put your left leg against it to kind of give you stability. So once again, listening skills. We're going to get into it pretty much the same way as downside angle pose. So go ahead and take your feet wide and apart a little bit. So a little bit more than hip distance apart, don't get them too wide. Bend your knees and fold over the legs. Okay. Strap in the right hand again. Underneath your right leg. Same thing, left arm goes out to the side. Turn your palm to face back. Reach back behind your waist. Grab a hold of your strap, or maybe you grab a hold of fingers. Once you have a hold of whatever you're going to hold, move and scoot your right foot in a little bit. Okay. Come up onto your right toes. Okay. From here, press off your toes, lift your back up, chest lifts, knee can stay bent. If you have the range of motion to start extending and straightening the right leg, you can. Once again, your practice. Steady breath, steady gaze. Way harder to balance when I'm trying to talk to you guys. Bend your right knee in, slowly place back down. Whoa! Almost made it. Take a moment, shake that out, roll up through the back. Good, release it. Okay. All right, guys, other side. So take your strap again. Feel a little bit more than hip distance apart. Bend your knees. Reach in between the legs, underneath your left thigh. Right hand goes out, palm faces back. Take the right arm behind your waist, not your butt, but your waist. Grab a hold of the strap or lock fingers. Scoot your left foot a little bit maybe more into you. Come up onto the left toes. Push off the toes, lift your chest up all at the same time. Slowly pull up through your standing leg. Feel the openness in the chest. Maybe you start to extend the left leg out or keep it bent. That we could all use. The thoughts of being on a nice sandy tropical paradise beach. Good. Bend the knee in. Slowly place the foot back down. Soften your right knee. Release that. Arms down. Just come into a nice forward fold. Let all of it go. Again, on your next inhale, come all the way to standing, or reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands together at heart center. Good, all right guys. You can either just stay in the middle of your mat, I'm going to, so you can see me better, or you can face the short end of your mat. So, coming into yogi squats, before we get there, you know for me, I like a block underneath my hips. If you know you have pretty open calves and Achilles, you probably won't need anything. Or if you know maybe you just have a little bit of tightness there, place a blanket and your heels will end up going onto the blanket. So once again, so Malasana this way with heels on something so your heels can really relax, or place blocks or books underneath you. Coming into Malasana this way. So either way, once again, I like the block just so my hips can really just relax into my hip sockets. I'm not fighting the tightness in my Achilles. And take a couple breaths, just a gentle pressure against your knees with your elbows. Press your knees against the elbows also, so once again we have a balance of energy back and forth. Good. And then I'm going to give you a couple of options here. So extend your left arm down past your left toes. Take a rotation to the right, extending the right arm out pretty much just diagonally. We've already been binding, but if you want and have the capability, take the left arm back behind the legs. Same thing, turn the right palm back, and you can reach back behind you. Maybe bind. I'm so close. Not quite. So take the bind version or just hand down just for the rotation. If you have the hand on the floor, maybe just use that upper arm to just gently press back on the left thigh. That might give you a really nice opening through the left inner thigh. Of course, I'm sure nice being the relative term here. Take one more breath. Slowly lower down or unbind if you're binding. Take just a moment, come back to heart center before we do the other side. Take a couple of breaths to recenter. Good. And then same thing, right hand to the outside of the right foot, left arm goes diagonally, and you turn the body to your left. Or if you want to bind, right hand goes behind your right shin, left arm goes back behind you. Maybe you grab a hold, oh, we got it on this side. I'm going to go back to my other version just because it was a little bit too much compression on my right hip when I had to bind that tight. Same thing, maybe just gently using the right arm, just maybe gently press back against the right thigh. Maybe a little stretch down there in the groin. And then slowly release that back down. Just take it on and come back into Malasana. Deep breath in. Release it out. Another deep breath in. Good. Slowly place the hands down. If you are on something, gently take that out from underneath you. Place it to the side. So setting up for our forward fold. So once again, if you would like to sit on the edge of a blanket or you need to be up on blocks, take a moment and take yourself up onto blocks. Okay. Coming into Marchandra first. So bend your left leg. I am not mirroring you because we don't know how well that goes sometimes in this pose. Foot on the inside of the leg or to the outside. Once again, only to the outside if the entire sole of the foot can go onto the floor. Take the left arm up. Just take a moment, find length in your spine. Then as you exhale, rotate to your left. So if you would like, I only offer this, if you want to bind Marchandra, you can. I know I cannot bind on this side, but if you're going to bind, you would take the right hand underneath your right calf muscle, left arm comes back behind that waist again, reaching for the fingertips and coming underneath the left thigh. So if you want to bind it, go for it. You can always use a strap also if you're not quite able to catch a hold of the fingertips. But I'm just going to take a nice rotation today instead. Then slowly come back to center. Extend the left leg out in front of you. Bend the right knee in. Same thing, right foot on the inside of the leg or to the outside of the leg. Take the right arm up. Once again, just to take that moment to find a length in your spine. So as you rotate, you're still nice and tall. So rotate to the right, take the arm back behind you. Press gently into the right fingertips if you're not binding. So as you press down into the earth, feel the spine lift away from the earth. So once again, we have that nice opposition of energy. And once again, if you want to bind, left hand goes underneath the right calf, right arm goes back behind the waist if you want to bind on this other side. And very slowly come back to center. Extend the right leg out in front of you. If you need to adjust yourself on your seat, make sure you're still sitting up nice and tall, however you'd like to do that for your practice. Take a deep breath in, and exhale, fold over the legs. Once again, allowing the pelvis to roll over the top of your thigh bones. Try not to sink down into the pelvis, but allow yourself to lengthen forward and over the legs. So once again, once you're in your your point of your deepest stretch, it's fine once again to allow that upper body to relax forward. Just try not to collapse too much into the low back. And then very slowly go ahead and walk yourself back up. You can stay facing however you are right now. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So coming into hero's pose. So a couple of different ways you can do this. So hero's pose is normally done with your seat in between your heels. Okay, so calf muscles are just to the outside of your thighs. So I can get down in here. So I'm doing okay. I may end up putting a blanket underneath me. So from hero's pose, you're going to start to walk yourself back. So you're going to be in Supta Virasana, so reclined hero's pose. So maybe walking those arms back. You could also take a couple of blocks. So once again, this is kind of a version of it. It's still a hero's pose, but just trying to get a nice little stretch in the front of the thighs. Once again, we will not be here for 3 minutes like we might be in practice. So, however, if the hips do not come easily to the floor, that's when you're going to use a block underneath you or books or a blanket to get your hips lifted up. And then you can still recline back and still get a stretch in the front of those thighs. So, once again, you just make sure that you're doing a version for you. If you have knee issues, I would definitely lift yourself up higher away from the floor so you're not putting as much flexion on the knees to make sure that you're safe there. Just take 2 more breaths, inhale, and exhaling out. And deep breath in, exhaling out. And then just very slowly walk your hands back in. And go ahead, if you're up on something, go ahead and remove that. Put the blocks to the side or whatever you had possibly and lay all the way down onto your mats. And go ahead, coming into bridge pose, so feet on the floor. Once again, take them a little bit further apart maybe. If your low back gets kind of bumpy during bridge pose, take a deep breath in. And then exhale, lift the hips up into bridge. So once you're in bridge pose, think about pulling your heels in towards the back of your legs as you reach the knees forward. Not that anything's actually going to move, but Think about just isometrically trying to drag those heels into the back of you. Then very slowly coming back down. Take a moment and rest. And take another nice deep breath in. Exhale, lifting your hips back up. Feeling the weight coming on towards the top of the shoulders. Once again, feel like you're trying to drag your heels back towards the back of your legs. A little bit of pressure right into the middle of your skull to make sure that your chin is level and not tucked into your chest, so the front of the throat is nice and soft. And then slowly rolling back down, resting for another moment. We'll do one more bridge pose. As always, if you practice wheel pose and you feel comfortable and confident in wheel pose at home, please feel free to do your wheel pose by placing your hands up by the ears. For this next bridge, you can press up into your back bend instead. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, lifting up into bridge or pushing and pressing yourself up into wheel. Once again, please do not do wheel at home unless you are absolutely 100% confident in your ability to do wheel pose. And then very slowly, coming out of bridge, if you're in wheel pose, make sure you tuck that chin in so you can come down onto the top of your head. And either windshield wiper your knees back and forth, or just let your knees fall into one another and just rest. And then slowly bring your knees back up. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock side to side or knee circles. It's always whatever feels best on your lower back and on the sacrum. And then bring your knees out to the sides, feet up to the ceiling, reach up for happy baby, grabbing a hold of the soles of the feet, or maybe you just grab a hold of the ankles or shins and gently pull the knees down. I really kind of like this ankle version just because it really allows me to relax my shoulders. It also allows me to keep my pelvis level with the floor. Sometimes if I'm feeling tight and I reach up for the soles of my feet, it makes me have to tuck my pelvis up. So I really kind of like that version of the pelvis being a little bit more of a neutral position. And I'm still getting that nice opening through my inner thighs and groin. So just kind of coming back to that thought of really being able to explore your own body, release those expectations of what you think a pose is supposed to look like, and really allowing yourself to have the intention of what a pose looks like for you individually. And it's a hard thing to do sometimes, to let go of what we think that perfect pose is supposed to be. And then go ahead and release your happy baby. If there's anything else you need before we take Shavasana, if you need to take some more knee circles, if I know some of you like to do fish pose before Shavasana, but just take about 30 seconds here, do anything you need. Maybe also taking a moment to put on warm clothes, maybe getting a blanket for underneath your knees. And then once you're ready for Shavasana, lay all the way down on your back. Float your eyes shut. Once again, coming full circle to where we started with our breath. Bring your attention to the top of your head and to the scalp. Just feel the softness draining down the scalp, through the face. Feel that softness continue just to creep down through your neck, across the shoulders and down the arms, all the way into the palm of your hand and into each of your fingers. Feel that softness move back up the arms. And then feel the softness moving down the fronts of your chest through the sternum, the low ribs, the belly, dropping down into your pelvis. And then feeling the softness starting to drain from the back of your neck, the shoulder blades, in between the shoulder blades, down the spine, the low back ribs, into the kidneys and low back. Once again, dropping down through your glutes into your pelvis. And then feeling that softness continuing down your legs, all the way down into the soles and the arches of your feet, into every one of your 5 toes. And then feeling that softness, once again moving back up your legs. Just feeling that energy, that softness really dropping into the center of your body. And just continue to feel that softness as you rest in your Shavasana. Slowly bring your awareness back into your body. Allow your breath to deepen. Bring slow and gentle movement into your fingers and down into your toes. Allowing yourself to slowly transition out of your practice. You turn your head from side to side. And then slowly bring one knee at a time into your chest. Rolling over onto the right side. And very slowly continue to press yourself up into a seated position. And bring your hands to heart center. And taking a moment to come back to your breath. Coming back to that sense of softness in the mind. Continuing to maybe hear the noise of the mind just a little bit quieter. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be at peace. Namaste.